So in this video, I have good news and bad news. First, let's start with the good news, and you probably already heard, but the Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 official trailer has just came out. And if we really look at it and dissect it, we can find out a lot of secrets that we didn't notice on a first watch. And before I get to that, I'm going to tell you the bad news. Poppy Playtime 3 has been officially delayed. A few of the developers sent out this letter to the fans, and I kind of expected it to get delayed because we only have like 2 or 3 weeks left in this year, and we're now just getting the trailer. So it would pretty much be impossible for them to drop a game in 2 weeks just after making the trailer. But yeah, I'll just read off the note. Today, we've made the unfortunate decision to delay Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 several additional weeks into 2024. We realize that this news may be disappointing. This was a tough decision for us to make, and we hope you accept our apologies. We made this decision to give us enough time to release Chapter 3 at the quality we're striving for. Simply put, the game is not ready yet. Our developers have been putting in extraordinary effort to give you the best possible experience we can deliver. Chapter 3 is going to be the biggest, highest quality installment to Poppy Playtime yet, and we cannot wait for you guys to enjoy it. We understand the emotional investment you've made in our game, and we do not take your support for granted. Until then, we've put together this gameplay trailer to finally show a small snippet of the incredible work our team has been doing here. We hope you enjoy it. So yeah, we didn't get an official release date for the game. They just said several weeks into 2024. So that could be like early January, early February, maybe even March. And that is really disappointing because they really had a whole year and a half to make this game. And every time something has come out in this whole franchise, it's been delayed. When Poppy Playtime 2 was supposed to come out, it got delayed a month or so. Project Playtime was delayed about a week, and now this. And I do understand they're trying to make the game as best as it can be, and I do support that, because I would rather have a great game than something that's just rushed and not fun. Which they did talk about that a few days ago. They talked about how Cyberpunk 2077 was rushed and it was a bad game. And they said that they don't want their game to be like that. They want it to be worth the wait, which does make sense. But yeah, now let's get into the official trailer that they dropped in order to make up for them delaying it. So the trailer opens up with the same Smiling Critters cartoon that we've seen so many times at this point. And it's on an old TV, and then it says Emergency Alert System on August 8th, 1995, 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you remember that day, it was from a VHS tape that they released earlier this year about Kissy Missy. And it looks like the TV is called the Poppytron 502. I don't know what 502 means. Maybe that's the release date for the game, May 2nd. But yeah, it says, have you heard the news? And it cuts to a place in the playcare, and it's supposed to be like a house. Maybe it's supposed to be like an indoor house that the children believe that it's outside, because if you look up, there's like some stars. I don't know if that's the actual sky. Maybe that's just like a painting. And in the background, we hear Poppy herself say, find the flower. And the thing is, when you first load up Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, that's what it says. It tells you to find the flower. And maybe that's just a reference or something, but I feel like it has some sort of meaning that we haven't seen yet. And on the house, it looks like there's some fake bushes. Maybe they are real, but they're indoors, so I don't know how they could really grow. We see a Poppy statue, and then we have some gameplay footage of us running through this room with bunk beds. And we actually saw this in some teasers and the VHS footage. We saw Catnap like hanging from the ceiling. And we see that the grab pack we have looks a lot different than the one that we had in Chapter 1 and 2. It looks more beat up and broken. And it also looks like you can do more stuff with it, because throughout the trailer we see a lot more stuff that you can do with the grab pack. At one point we see the green hand switch to a purple hand, and it makes you jump up really high. I don't know if that's going to be something that we use a lot in the game, but we did see that in a teaser. We saw a purple hand button, and it looks like when you press it, it switches. And maybe that's what you use to get over the red smoke. And then later in the trailer, another mechanic that we see is the gas mask itself. Now, it looks like this gas mask that was the first teaser for this game ever is going to be very useful in this game. It looks like you're going to have to use it to get through the red gas that Catnap breathes out. I don't know how often we're going to end up using it. Maybe if there's ever like a big pool of red gas, we're going to have to get through it using that. We do see us wearing it a couple times in the trailer, but not a lot. And it looks like they're just going to be at random spawn points on a wall. They're on like a coat rack here. And it looks like we are going to be able to use the gas mask and the grab pack at the same time. So it looks like you use the purple hand to get over the smoke, and maybe if you fall in, then you'll use the gas mask. I don't really know. And then we cut to a shot with all the Smiling Critter dolls. And on the wall, there looks to be like some writing. I think it says XDIY. Maybe that like stands for something, but I don't really see it right now. It just looks like a bunch of random letters, but maybe it does mean something. But yeah, obviously Catnap is going to be in the middle because that's the main villain for this game. And then at another point in the trailer, we see the prototype, and it says that the prototype is Catnap's god.
The prototype is his god.
So I was pretty close on my theory. If you've been watching my channel for like a couple weeks, you know that I thought Catnap was supposed to be the children's god, but it turns out that the prototype is Catnap's god. So maybe Catnap was the one that put these candles here in the teaser. I thought that might have been the children that did that for Catnap. So maybe the Hour of Joy is something that Catnap does for the prototype. And it doesn't look like this is the prototype because it doesn't have that claw. Maybe this is just a statue that Catnap built for the prototype. And if we actually look closer on the statue, we can see a lot of disturbing stuff. First of all, there's a human skeleton sticking out of PJ Pugapeller's mouth. And then we see some of the smiling critter dolls, and it looks like they're dead, stuck on this prototype figure. And it does look like the human body is decaying. Maybe PJ Pugapeller ate it. Maybe Catnap ate it. Maybe the prototype ate it. And the skeleton has some sort of construction worker outfit on it. So maybe that's the employee that died. And I don't know if this is the real PJ. Maybe it's like a doll version. But yeah, this prototype statue doesn't look that big. In the teaser, for some reason, I thought it was like giant. But yeah, next we see a poster that says Catnap is your friend. And we see some children laughing. And if you don't remember, I'm pretty sure that the poppy gas that Catnap breathes out, it makes children laugh, and then they get poisoned, and then they get put to sleep and then turned into mascots. We saw it in the Smiling Critters cartoon. So maybe the kids don't know it, but Catnap is breathing out that gas while they speak. So that's why they're laughing. They're about to get put to sleep. We then see some glitched text that says these children are hungry and these children are saved. I don't know who they're saved by. I don't even know what children they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about the children that was turned into monsters. Or maybe they're talking about children that were in the play care. Maybe they're talking about the kids that are stuck inside the Smiling Critters. Because another crazy thing in this trailer, we see Dog Day chase us in some sort of indoor jungle gym like in FNAF Security Breach. And I did know that Dog Day was going to be in this game. That was one of my theories, but I didn't know he would be chasing us. I really thought he would help us. So it looks like all the Smiling Critters might chase us at one point, but maybe Dog Day is just going to be like the side villain for this game, like how PJ was the side villain for the last game, and Mommy Longlegs was the main villain. Maybe this time Catnap's the main villain, and Dog Day is like the side villain. And then at another point in the trailer, we see Catnap himself walk by the camera. It looks like there's some boxes behind him. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But the way Catnap is moving is very similar to how Huggy Wuggy or Kissy Missy walks. So maybe this is either Huggy Wuggy or Kissy Missy walking. Maybe it's not Catnap. And then we see Poppy talking to us like how she has in the whole trailer. For some reason, she's just acting nice now, even though she betrayed us in the last chapter. She said she would let us go free, and then we had to crash the train to stop her. But maybe at the end of chapter 2, she was like possessed or something. Maybe it wasn't really her controlling herself, because she did act a lot different.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I was just trying to get the power back on. Did you kill her? Good. I'll board the train.
But anyways, next to Poppy, we see Kissy Missy, and she is not dead at all because we can see that her eyes are moving. So maybe she's going to play a big role in this game. I don't really know what her role is going to be. But at one point in their Discord server, Mob Games said Kissy Missy fans are going to enjoy Chapter 3, so I think she's going to have a big role. But anyways, next in the trailer, we see this monster that I don't know who it could be. Maybe it's one of the Smiling Critters in a monster form. But they're in some sort of prison, and it says this is what he does to heretics.
And this is what he does to heretics.
Him being Catnap. And if you don't recognize that from somewhere, I sure do. It was from a teaser that Mob Games posted, I think, a couple weeks ago. It said, this is what he does to heretics. We didn't really know what it meant at first. So we know that a heretic is someone that believes in a religion, and maybe Catnap kills them or punishes them if they don't believe in his religion, obviously following the prototype. But something that we need to figure out is why Catnap is following the prototype in the first place. We do know that the prototype can get inside the monsters' heads. We saw it in Project Playtime.
To the feeding pit. They cannot escape alone, but others may interfere. Let the smaller Huggies keep watch. Leave one here.
So maybe that's what he's doing to Catnap. He's forcing him to follow him because he knows that Catnap is one of the stronger monsters. And we know that before Catnap was actually turned into Catnap, it was a little boy named Theodore, and his imaginary friend was the prototype. So maybe even before he was turned into a monster, he still had the prototype in his head. So maybe to stop Catnap, we're going to have to actually stop the prototype first in some way. And then next in the trailer, we get the full Catnap reveal. And I do want to say, I am very impressed with how Catnap looks. The graphics for this game are insane. It definitely looks a lot more realistic and more scary, which I'm pretty sure that's why they updated Chapter 1 a couple months ago. They were just preparing us for Chapter 3, and we didn't actually see the full Catnap. We saw him in the dark, but we could definitely see his outline a lot better than we did in the Chapter 3 teaser. But maybe we're going to get another trailer because this one was called Gameplay Trailer number 1. Maybe we're going to get another one in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll see Catnap in the light because this one we can't really see him that well. But maybe this is how we're going to see him in the game. Maybe we won't actually see him in the light. Maybe he'll only be in the dark. Alright, I pretty much went over everything interesting about this trailer. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I did enjoy the Chapter 3 trailer a lot, and it gets me even more hyped for Chapter 3. And leave a like on this video if you enjoyed.